Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Programming with Pirai. In this video, my school friend is ready to share his Hexaware interview process with us. So his name is Saravana, and telling about him, he studied AITS department and recently he got placed in Hexaware company in campus recruitment. And as a school friend telling about him, he is one of my best friend and still we are hanging out whenever I am going to my hometown, and also he is a handsome hunk in our school days, and he is also a gym person. Okay, fine. So in this video we are just going to see what are the rounds that are in Hexaware and what are the things you want to learn to enter into the Hexaware company. So if you are new to my channel, just do consideration and just subscribe to my channel to get the further placement tips. Let's get started. So Sarona, can you introduce yourself to us?
Of course, Pirai. I am Saravana GJ from Madurai. I am currently in my fourth year of BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science with a CGPA of 8.56. Well, I've been a campus ambassador for Skill Vertex and Intenshara, and also a cloud developer at Self-Made Ninja Labs. And I have also been a finalist at Rajasthan Police Hackathon, which is a national level hackathon. And I have done around 5 to 6 projects with some like the AI legal assistant for filing FIR and employee performance prediction, which is also kind of installed in a company. Outside academics, I like to dance, write poems, and my family consists of 3 members. So consider myself as one of the watchers of your channels. Thank you, Pirai.
Okay. So the next question for you is, what is your motivation or why does you join Hexaware company?
Well, to be honest, it was actually a do or die situation. When well, my college is kind of a mid college, so the placement's kind of mid too. But say that I went for one drive before Hexagon. Well, that was an utter failure. I went to the final round there and got emotionally disturbed because they kicked me out for no reason. Well, that became the motivation for me, and since I knew what to do, the research I conducted over Hexaware, and I will tell about you here too. I conducted a thorough research about Hexaware and know how to deal with it. So that helped me. Right.
Okay, okay. So what are the different rounds and can you explain about all your experience in that round too?
Of course, most of us definitely would be nervous when we go to rounds. So at first, it was always the online rounds, right? So there is actually two roles in Hexaware, right? One is GET, Graduate Internet Trainee, and another one is Advanced one, PGET. So I got selected for the PGET role too, but there is still interview pending for it. So the first round would be the aptitude round. It consists of 60 questions with a quantitative 20 questions, reasoning as also 20 questions, with verbal to 20 questions. Then additionally, they have a domain-based technical test too. It consists of 30 questions. So each question gets 1 minute. So it's totally 90 questions. The domain-based technical tests consist of pseudocode as well as computer fundamentals. Well, computer fundamentals, you know that computer networks, OS, DBMS, including those. So 30 questions divided into 15 and 15. So total duration is around 90 minutes. That session was held in a platform which is pretty easy. It was pretty easy. We just need to get prepared on the topics. I will also give you the topics list that you can help for your viewers too. Then the next would be the most important part and the highly risk part. It is the group discussion. Well, if your group, it depends on your college. Well, in my experience, it was an offline one, which actually is an advantage instead of being an online one where you get many interruptions due to the technical issues or something like that. Being in an offline mode is very much better because you get to impress them not only based on your speech but also your character, your dress, your charisma, and all that. So the next round would be the HR interview. It was pretty easy in the easiest part. Well, the aptitude and technical questions were all easy. Then the group discussion is the toughest one, and the HR interview was pretty much formality for me. But others experienced, some of my colleagues, some of my friends experienced technical questions there too. So if you clear all these three questions, all these three rounds, then you will get into Hexaware for the get role. That is the graduate engineer trainee. But for the P-get role, you have to attend one more round. That is the coding round. It consists of two questions. Well, the two questions takes 40 minutes each. One is a somewhat lead code medium question, and another is kind of hard. But both were really small codes if you understand the logic behind it. You just have to think of the algorithm. If you get to know the algorithm, it is pretty easy. So these are all the rounds, right?
Okay, fine, fine. So, how do you prepare for each and every round, or what are the resources you have already researched, or it is like you are just entering to immediately into Hexaware interview process, like me entering
Well,
into Salita.
of course, Pirai. I was thinking that well, I have deep knowledge in machine learning and deep learning, all that. I will definitely get into this role. But suddenly that hit me that many of the companies, like 99% of the companies, don't hire them immediately. They need 2 years of experience, and Hexaware has a 2 year bond, which is gonna help me. So at first, the first thing everyone should do is proper research about the company. You have to go into the company's website. You have to go into third-party websites like Ambition Box, check out what they need, what kind of qualifications they need, what are the like Hexaware needs no backlogs or six CGPA above. It will be told to you by your college too, but it's better if you experiment yourself. So what I did was I did a proper research, and I found that Hexaware values smiles, that they want to put their customers into smile. So what the one thing I did is never stop smiling. As I entered into the GD room too, I was smiling. As I exited too, I was smiling. So I made sure to add those points too, like bringing smiles to the customers into my interview. So that part you should, and most of it, it's like a jackpot kind of thing. When you visit third party websites, you get to know what kind of questions they asked recently or the last years, so you can get prepared on yourselves too. Regarding the rounds like aptitude rounds, technical assessment rounds, there are separate lists available in websites too, and I believe Pirai, you will also tell all the topics required to for Hexaware, and I will also give it, no problem. So I just prepared all of those. But when you think about the most tough ones, like most tough topics to prepare, just leave it. And in my experience, I just left it. And but the easier ones, I made sure I don't get them wrong, because even if you get 25 out of 30, it's enough. But if you get stuck on one question for more than 1 minute, it is going to be a problem. So I believed that getting most of the questions right instead of getting tensed over one question. So if I get a question wrong, okay, I will just go inky pinky ponky. Let's go to the next question. That's what I did. That's the help me manage my time too, because it was just 90 minutes and 90 questions. And regardless of that, I serve to YouTube channel like yours, helping trying to get me into Hexaware. And most of the coding questions were from arrays, strings, those topics. Nothing more than that. They didn't get into graph and all that. Even for pget role, most of that were tough, but based on arrays and strings only, so it's no problem. Then you have to be strong on the computer core topics, that four pillars you write. That four pillars you have to be very strong, because that influences. They are not only if you get into suppose you get into the GD round, they're not only gonna calculate it based on the GD round alone. They will look before what marks you got on that previous round too. So they will approach cumulatively instead of getting separate rounds. They will approach cumulatively. So it's better if you do great on all the rounds. So that's all for preparation. Let me
Okay.
talk about.
So, what is the toughest round you have faced, and what is the difficulty in the toughest round? Can you share about that?
Of course, it was my second experience, so I was already brave in my heart that I should go ahead and do whatever I want. But for most of us, it will be the first time. So I believe in the aptitude round. Yeah, one more thing. In the aptitude round, there was that website was very brilliant. Like if you there is the camera, if you move around, it will immediately captures photos. So they will definitely know if you're gonna use some help from your friends or anyone else. I kind of missed many questions, but most of them were I believed most of them were right. And my most difficult one was the GD. Well, there are in my college there were many HRs. Let's say they split us into four groups, and my group consisted of around 20 people. We were asked to sit in a U shape, all facing the HR. So he just it was my luck too, because he asked the topic himself. Like he didn't choose the topic; he asked us to choose. So all 20 were going. I am the 20th person. I am the last person. So from the beginning, they were all splitting out topics they know, and I made use of my proactive approach and voiced out my topic, a topic I know, a topic I have prepared. So it was like a social media or something like that. I used the topic. I voiced out my reasons, saying that everyone will know about this topic, so it will be an interesting topic to speak about. I immediately started to. It is important to start the GD because even though he himself, the HR, said that there is no extra points for starting or concluding, I kind of left it and started. I immediately started on the topic and spoke about for a minute, and we were asked to each speak for only 1 minute. After that, the beacon kind of passes around. So everyone, all the 20% spoke for 1 minute, and then we were asked to conclude within 30 seconds. So we have to the first 1 minute we spoke was the main like whether we are going to support the topic or not against or we are against the topic. We have to press on it, and the conclusion part, the 30-second part was you do not have to push around your topic like if you are supporting or against it. You have to just conclude in a general basis, so they think about that too. If you are pressing new opinions or new points on that 30 seconds, it might be a point of disqualification too, because you're concluding, not stating your opinions again. So the GD was they were looking into your attire, like your shirts, whether it is tucked in properly, what kind of hairstyle you are in, whether you have a beard, or you are wearing shoes. I don't even believe that Hexaware were thinking about it. Mostly my college was thinking about it. Okay. So it was pretty, I was pretty confident about when I left the GD room because I chose my own topic and I spoke about it very clearly. Make sure, uh, one more point is to make sure you maintain eye contact not with the HR, not with the HR, but with the participants, because GD, the group discussion, means you are discussing with your participants, not with your HR. So I made sure to not look at HR and don't even care about his presence there. And the next round, let's say the interview part, I didn't face any technical issues, but they asked about my location preferences, my salary requirements, but they knew that I am going to get only the specified amount, but they also asked me salary expectations, and I said I agree with whatever you are providing. So it went smoothly. Yes.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. So the next question is actually about the relocation and the salary expectation, but as he already mentioned, we can
Well,
step up.
they also mentioned that about the 2 years bond. They asked about whether you are okay with the 2 year service bond, and I said it's okay.
So there is a famous interview question like in general HR round, why this company? So like that, they asked about definitely in all companies they will ask, right, why Hexaware? So what you have answered for that question?
Well, as I have told you, I have done research with about Hexaware, and the main point I came up with is that they want smiles on their customers. And I came up with a storytelling technique. I came up with a story where I helped my friends, and that put a smile on their face too. So I kind of combined them both and made sure my own actions can be for the betterment of Hexaware too. That, and finally I made the HR smile too. So it kind of I kind of made a good impression on her based on my character. Make sure to smile.
Actually, when we are at school, we can tell about anything and we make a lot of jokes. And Savana is the main part of that. He makes fun of each and every guy and make us laugh. And he tells some story. That's very too interesting too. So that's too main skill he got.
Yeah, actually, storytelling is a technique. It is a technique to make people understand things. So I made use of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so okay, whether in Hexaware they are focusing on technology or any programming language specifically, like you should not use Python or you should use Java like that in coding restriction of programming language.
Well, there isn't any coding restrictions. They are just I myself wanted Java as well as SQL, but I know Python too because being a machine learning expert, I wanted I know Python too. But I didn't boast about my Python skills. I just went out with Java and SQL, and they mostly did ask about Java and SQL. They kind of asked, how will you manipulate string if you cannot manipulate it? Some basic questions like that. Also, the most famous ones too, and some SQL queries to my friends too. I didn't experience those, thank God. But make sure to learn all those concepts. Since Hexaware is giving a training, separate training for your personality, professionalism, as well as your technical skills too, they don't exaggerate on the topic of technical skills. They just want you to be technically aware and ready to learn. That's what they think.
Okay, 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 Sana. So, what is your advice or what you can say for upcoming preparing guys to prepare these sort of questions or these sort of patterns to enter into Hexaware? So, can you tell about something how we can crack the Hexaware interview and how we can prepare?
Instead of just telling about Hexaware, let me tell you generally. Let's say that split your, make yourself a timetable. It's the most simple and effective thing. Well, what I did was I made different shifts in my day. It was a holiday, and I was in a complete holiday for 30 days, and I just made preparation. The morning shift is for aptitude. The afternoon shift, when I get sleepy, I will do coding. And during the night shift, I will get tired. So I will just go for verbal and professionalism, how to present all those things. So make yourself some shifts like myself, and 1 hour a day is better than continuous preparation for 8 hours. That's my motto. 1 hour a day, 1 hour, that discipline is gonna help you.
Yeah, I too accept that because you don't want to do in entire work in one day and left over for 1 month. It's better to do 1 hour for continuous
Each
30
day.
days. So that will gain you 30 hours instead of 8 hours. Yeah, that I will accept that.
Of
Okay, okay,
course,
Sarana. So it is so glad to just ask you about the interview experience about Hexaware and everything. So thank you so much.
thank you for lending yours, Pirai.